Thank you so much for joining this live. Sorry, we had a little bit of technical difficulty because we were going to try and stream from Zoom into the group. So I want to say thank you for your patience. Would you like to introduce yourself to people who are going to watch this or watching this now?
Yeah, of course. I'm Jag. I study at King's Dentistry. I started with Tutu a very long time ago as a student and then worked with her and then got help to get into university. I studied my whole life in Kent. I went to Chatham Grammar, initially at Thomas Evelyn. Then with your help, we changed over to Holcombe Grammar. And then done my A-levels in biology, chemistry and English lit. And then done biomedical science, sorry, I forgot that, at King's as well. And then now studying dentistry at King's again.
Wow, amazing. So I'm going to be making notes as we go. So if you see me looking down,
Cool.
what just caught me there is what you said you did for your A levels. So
Yep.
you did biology, chemistry, and English, did you say?
English lit, yeah. So
Tell me about that combination.
A really good point to pick up on. A lot of people get confused. So most people do biochem and maths. But if you ask any of them that do it, they cry. It's so hard. It's such a hard combination. And it's not required. People make it hard for no reason.
What's not required?
The maths part isn't required.
Okay.
Every university for medicine and dentistry, they want biology and chemistry. Some, if you're doing like a foundation course, will even drop biology if you've got other extenuating circumstances. They need chemistry 100%. Biology, most will say 100%, but maths is never a requirement.
Amazing. So what most people wouldn't know is, yes, you're studying dentistry right now, but you've gone ahead and had your first degree in biomedical sciences first.
Yeah.
Would you be able to give us a bit of insight onto the reason why you did that? Why didn't you go straight into dentistry? How did you come about doing your first degree in biomedical sciences first before you then are now doing dentistry?
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes from not knowing enough, like a lack of education in terms of routes into medicine and dentistry. My sixth form at the time, you only learn this in hindsight, and that's why I always say to people now, it's always best to go and do your own research. We rely so much on our teachers and head of years and sixth form staff, but the reality of it is they don't really know. They've not been through med or dental school. They most likely don't have children that have been through it, so it's not their fault. And they advise on generic information. Like everyone will tell them to do biochem and maths. That's what they tell everyone to do. But again, it's not a requirement. For me, they told me that unless you get 2,800 on the UCAT, which is an entry exam, don't apply. There's no point. But then when I went to do biomedicine at King's and I spoke to people that done medicine and dentistry, most people got less than me. I got 2,680, band 2. And my sixth one were like, oh, don't apply. Unless you get 2,800, there's no point applying. You won't get a place. Again, just believe in what they said. Obviously, it wasn't malicious. It's just what they thought was correct. They didn't want us to apply and then get rejected and then have nowhere to go.
So have you always known then that you wanted to do dentistry right from the beginning? So you were discouraged from applying directly at the time.
Yeah.
So would you then say you wasted how many years doing biomedical sciences?
3. I said yes to your question if I always wanted to do dentistry. It was always dentistry or medicine. I was never sold on either. Even when I applied, as you know, I rejected medicine at the end, but I applied for both till the last minute. Not many people know you can do that either. You can send your personal statement to medical schools and dental schools. But it was a last minute decision, and I don't regret that 3 years. No, I loved it. I learned a lot. And because I'd never been to university, have no parents that went, I didn't know a lot about the experience, what happens at uni. Didn't have a learning style, didn't know how to juggle life with university because no one had that advice. Not my dad couldn't go, oh, make sure you go to societies, make sure you join club. Like I didn't know none of that. And I met really helpful people along the way and made friends for life. So yeah, I think it was really worth it for me.
So what inspired you to want to pursue a degree in either medicine or dentistry?
I think that was my background. So my grandparents, as you know, both had strokes and stuff, so always into healthcare. I remember like administering my granddad's insulin from young, taking blood glucose levels, going to all their appointments with them. I've just always been a very helpful person, always loved healthcare in general.
Wow, that's a huge inspiration. And I do remember you looking after your grandparents, especially your granddad who's passed now, and even still you're looking after your grandmom. You're very much into your family, which is really easy. And you don't see much of that in
No.
young people these days. So it's really
Mm.
see. You did mention just now that you were the first one to have university education in your family. Can you tell us what the impact of tutoring played from a very young age for you in terms of you achieving the things that you wanted to do and being able to go ahead and get further in your academics?
Cool. So the other night we were actually talking about this with my aunties because they were down on holidays, and we were talking about. I think there's two parts to that for us because my mum's from India, so obviously having an immigrant parent, and then my dad who was from England, but obviously didn't. They were always into business and stuff. They never went to school and educated like that. I think one for with parents, whether it's your mum or your dad or both, going to tutoring one just brings you to a level playing field of everyone else. Because I always recall a story like there's certain words I never knew, but I would only say in Indian or Punjabi at school, and I'd think that was normal because I didn't know anything else. Like I didn't know what you call a duvet in English until probably year 7, but I'd always say the word in Indian, even write it in Indian, as in like the way you pronounce it. And I was talking about the other day, and I was like, it's weird because my uncles always told us tutoring in this day and age is a requirement just to be up there on a level playing field of everyone else, to give you them opportunities, and then above that, beyond having the parents from another country, for me it was the inspiration to always be able to improve. Like going from Thomas Haven to Chatham Grammar, it was just showing me that with this support, you can make changes. You're not got to be stuck in this cycle, and you can progress and become what you want. Like I think it taught me that nothing's impossible. To be honest with you, that's what I try and tell my siblings as well. If you want something enough, you can make it happen.
Wow. So you did say just now tutoring is a requirement. Well, some people might oppose that because, like, isn't school enough? Why do parents have to pay extra out for
Mm.
tutoring? What would be your thoughts on that?
So I understand it's a cost, but I call it more of an investment because a lot of people from our culture love investing money in things that I think they think is going to be really good in the future. Like we see a lot in our culture, especially like people leave their children 10, 15 houses when they die. But that's not giving them skills. That's not letting them go out in the world and do it themselves. I think if you give a child the skills and the ability to go and make something of themselves, they wouldn't need them houses, and it's all too late. When they're young and able to take them risks and learn something and become something of themselves, even beyond monetary value, but just the confidence it gives you, the ability to communicate with other people and just survive and thrive in a world that's forever changing. I wouldn't say it's a cost in the moment, but long term, it's the best investment I think for a child.
Amazing. Thank you for that. From your experience, I mean, you got 2,680 in UCAT. You could have gone straight to medicine. You could have gone straight to dentistry. You were discouraged from actually going and doing that because obviously you didn't know.
Yeah.
So you then rose over that. You went to university. You did biomedical sciences. You then went back, and now you're doing dentistry. You didn't only do that, you then thought, you know what, I want to help other people. I want to help other youngsters coming after me so they're not making the same mistakes.
Yeah.
So you created your own organization. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah. So it was literally one video of my mum when I got my results and I posted it. And from that, it was literally just, I think on the video, it was like, you were told you can't get into dentistry with X, Y, Z grades, but you eventually get there, and marks, obviously. And then from that, I think I'm talking 200-300 people sent messages of their grades and saying, I wanted to do it, I don't know what to do. Or even a lot of people say, like, I'm 23 now, I'm 22 now, should I go back to school? And it was shocking to me how many people didn't know. But then also it was a reality check because I didn't know. I didn't know you can email universities with your grades and be like, would it be worth me applying? They won't tell you, oh, you'll get in or not, but they'll be, if there's a red flag straight away, they'll say, like, no, you didn't do this requirement, so there's no point applying. Because you only get 4 options, so you have to apply strategically. So just helping people with their decisions. I'll have people like yesterday, I was in Blue and another friend, he was tutoring someone who's like, oh, he heard of your route and he wants to know, how did you get in? And he was like, I've got 30 minutes to decide, do I do biomed or do I take a gap year? And it was like, I didn't have that to go to someone. But when I spoke to that person, he was like, I've got these grades, but I missed 1 grade. So then every circumstance is different. I would have been, to him, I was like, if you've only missed 1 grade by 5 marks, maybe don't do the 3 years, take a gap year, get that grade and apply again. But then no, you have limited options. Some universities don't take retake students. It's all this knowledge, but just knowing that before he might have thought, I only want to study in London, but in London they might not take retakes. But you can still do it next year. Just go to Manchester or Leeds or Cardiff. So I think giving people knowledge that I know already, and then obviously it's always changing. Like this year they changed personal statements. So even learning again myself and then helping other people understand that now you've not got a blank canvas. They've got 3 questions and you've got to answer them. They've tried to help students by making it easier, and just helping them understand that is really cool.
So how is the service structured? Talk me through. So if I wanted to sign my daughter up with you, and in terms of you mentoring her and guiding her, how does that process work? If a parent wants to sign their child up with you?
Yeah. So first I start with, I'll go right in front of me, so if I'm looking down, it's that. But to the whole application, there's about 5 or 6 aspects. One being work experience, the second being the UCAT, as I mentioned, third being your personal statement. Fourth is extracurriculars. What can you do now? Some people or parents have messaged me when their child's in year 9 or 10, or even their kids message through TikTok, like, is there anything I can be doing now? Extracurricular stuff you can be doing from then. And then the last 2 is applying strategically and interview prep, which is like towards the end of the application.
Can you run me through that again?
Yeah. So we start with things like work experience, extracurriculars, UCAT and personal statement. That's like the middle of the application. And then the end is the interview prep and applying strategically.
Okay.
In terms of work experience, I started mine at like 16 in the pharmacy. When I started, it was like just before COVID, but they still, and then, sorry, just before COVID, I was working in the pharmacy and was trying to get into dental practice. As soon as COVID hit, you couldn't get nowhere. Insurance changed, so no one could get work experience in dental practices. But then what I learned from my own interview practice and talking to people that are already in dentistry that did it through COVID, so couldn't get that experience anyway, was that they don't want to see you. It'd be ideal if they could see that you've had experience in the dental clinic, but it's more understand how to talk to people, understanding what comes with dentistry. Even if you spoke to a dentist, what is their job like? What do you deal with on a day-to-day basis? Even dental nurses, a lot of interview questions are regards to how you treat your dental nurse. Like, there's all different aspects, and it all comes down to communication, I find, when it comes to work experience. A lot of people struggle talking to people. So now that interviews have gone back in person, they really do pick up on I think that's where they draw the line with weak students, because they feel like, we don't expect you to know dentistry, we don't expect you to be able to do a fill-in, but we do need someone we can work with in terms of being able to talk to someone. You need to have the confidence to have someone sat in your chair and have a conversation with them. So then the first part would be helping students or parents understand that they need to get their child into a weekend job, whether that's retail, if you can get a clinic. Like, some people come to our clinic, and it's very rare, it's at the owner's discretion and the managers, but sometimes they do let students come in, have a look, ask questions. But again, it's just putting yourself out there and being able to get the experience to talk to people, because you need, that's so big, because in your personal statement and your interview, that all comes back to that work experience. If not, you have nothing to talk about.
What age range do you take, and how can parents get in touch with you?
From 16 onwards, mainly. But I don't mind, just if anyone has questions, I usually get questions from younger people that I'd be like, I'll maybe try this in the meantime, then reach out later.
Okay. And how do you want parents to reach out to you?
So they can either message me through Instagram or TikTok, or my email address.
Okay. We'll put all of that information on this post when we do it.
Perfect. Thank you.
So looking back, would you choose the same path again, or what would you have done differently?
So even people in my year ask me that now, the ones that got in straight away, and I love my path because now I know how my iPad works, I know how to make my lecture notes, I know how to be efficient. Beyond that, I know where I like studying and where I don't. If I had to learn all that while learning such a heavy content load, I think I'd struggle, which I see a lot. Like, this year went so quick. It was interesting, it was fun, but then other people would say it was stressful, it was really hard, because they were still adjusting to themselves. Because I already know how I work, it was a lot easier. I know how to organise my lectures, what to do for my lectures, my notes, my flashcards. Like, there was already structure there, and I already had basic knowledge from the first degree, so I enjoyed it.
Amazing. And what are the biggest challenges you think students will face when applying to medical or dental school?
Rejection. I found the numbers out today before I come. So only 10% get into med first time, and only 1 in 26 get into dentistry first time. That's 3.8%.
Wow.
So I did get in first time applicant, but when you get to university, you'll see loads of people don't. But it's really normal.
So
and
rejection is normal.
very normal in this field because it's so hard, especially dentistry. There's only 16 dental schools in the United Kingdom. Medicine's a bit easier, like the percentage is around 10% because there's that many more medical schools and they're opening more. But rejection 100%, and it drives people away. But then you need to remember it's normal. Loads of people have been rejected. It's the ones that carry on, pick their stuff up again and move forward and apply again.
Amazing. Are there alternative routes for getting in into university for dental or medicine? So, some students can say they're not going to go to university, they're going to go and do apprenticeship. Some students will say the new one now, instead of A level, there's T level.
Yeah.
So, are there alternative routes?
I don't believe so in terms of an exception to A levels, but with the degree, I believe in medicine they've opened up a learning on the job medical program, but there are limitations to that. Like you would never be able to work abroad. I think it's slightly longer, but it's to open up for lower socio-economic groups because obviously it's a lot of time not working, not having no money. Going to university is hard, so they've tried to open up a scheme. I think it's Plymouth University. But then this year, Kings have also opened up if any nurses, physician associates, and a couple other career paths already can then join into medicine at the 4th year.
Right.
But dentistry, there's nothing other than like different careers in dentistry. So a lot of people, I didn't know this either, but hygienists, therapists, there's other roles that are very similar, but just not the dentist.
Okay. How important are grades compared to extracurricular activities, compared to work experience? Because you've talked about, if someone was to come into your program, those would be the stuff that you'd be discussing with them. But comparing all those three to each other, what's more important and how important is it to have all of that in place?
Again, like I say to the people that would message me and I talk to, without the grades, you've got nothing, to be honest with you. There are very rare circumstances where grades are reduced because of, I think they do stuff like if you have 3 school meals or if you're in care, every university has a set number of rules that they might make exceptions on. Nothing major. If they want A star AA, they might go AAA, or if they want AAA, they might go ABB. All depends on your circumstances. It's all well evidenced and stuff to obviously make sure the system isn't abused. But if you've not got the grades, there's not a lot they can work with. But then the reason why, if you said most people that message me will have the grades because they know without the grades they can't get anywhere.
So when we're talking about grades, what are we looking at?
On average, AAA. Some schools, if you're talking Oxford, are probably A star, A. But then obviously there's other medical schools that are a bit less. And again, everyone does have that mitigating circumstance.
Triple A we're looking at?
Yeah.
Is GCSE result taken into consideration at all?
It is. So I think they want English language 6 minimum and maths, most of them. That's even if you apply as a graduate, they check your English language and maths.
That there's 6 minimum.
Yeah, 5 or 6 minimum.
And to be fair, most sixth forms wouldn't take you to study a subject if you get less than a 7.
Yeah, of that subject, yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you don't study that subject. So English language, they always check. I'm quite sure it's a 6 they want for most schools. And maths. But yeah, you are correct.
In terms of Russell Group universities and compared to the rest of the universities, what advice would you give to students in terms of the universities, and how do they decide which universities they pick and which one they stay away from?
When it comes to medicine and dentistry, it's not like other degrees. When we finish, we're not given classes as in first, second, and thirds and stuff because they don't want. You wouldn't go to a doctor who got a 3rd class degree compared to 1st class, would you? And no one would. So they've done it so that you just pass or you just fail. So obviously there are better universities because of their name. King's is better than, I don't know, a random one like Swansea University or something like that. But the course as a whole, you wouldn't learn the same content. You'll become the same standard of a doctor, hopefully, because they're obviously all regulated by the General Medical Council and the General Dental Council. But I think it comes down to an individual where you'd like to study, location, are you looking to move far? Obviously, there are still rankings, but they try and portray to us that they're all equal because they don't want someone to think that a dentist that's graduated from King's is a lot better than a dentist that's graduated from Cardiff. They want to try and keep it equal because obviously we all should be the same level of qualified.
Thank you. So in terms of cost, what is a student looking at, like, and their parents, what should they be looking at in terms of costs of going to university to study dentistry or medicine?
If you get in undergrad as an undergrad, so straight after A level, then as provided your household income isn't exceedingly high, your student fee, so the 9,250 will be covered by the government. You have to pay it back, but on the student loan. And the maintenance loan, which most students can get, but again depends on your parents' income, is up to £15,000 in London to live off, but then rent's around £8,000 for the year. So you get left with £5,000 to live off for the rest of the year, food, travel, going out and stuff like that.
Not
It's
a
obviously
lot.
less depending on your university. A lot of students work weekends, they tutor, they try a lot of other things just to get past. It's very expensive, to be honest with you.
So we're looking at 9,000 for tuition fees a
Yeah,
year
yeah.
and 15,000 for upkeep.
Yeah, you get that from maintenance loan. But again, the maintenance loan very depends on parents. The tuition loan, not so much.
Okay.
But
So about 24,000 a year.
mhm,
How many years course is
5.
5? So we're looking
And
at
it's very high interest. I know some people at the end, when they look at their student loan account, can be at nearly like £250,000 and stuff. Like, it does get stupid money, but obviously it's worth it a long time.
we're looking at least 125 grand to get that degree. And
That's
then
like minimums we're talking.
minimum, yeah.
Mm.
And then paying it back, obviously, you have to be earning certain amount
Over 27,000 at the moment, I think.
before they take it back.
Yeah, they do
So
take it
what
back so slowly.
they do, okay. And what if you then went down your route and did an undergraduate first and then go into dentistry? Does it change? Is it
Yes, it
different?
does. So for me, because I done undergrad and then another undergrad, they don't cover your student fee. They give you maintenance loan if you apply. But if you did, so like my offer from Manchester that I rejected, I would have got my tuition fee covered because it was PG, so it's postgrad. But then again, it was living away. You've got to consider all these costs. It's very difficult. It's whatever works for you. But my route is definitely more of a burden on parents, families, and stuff like that. Trying to go undergrad, hopefully you get in undergrad first time, but like I said, rejection is really common, so a lot of people have to go the other route. It is very expensive, and your loan can be huge by the end of it if you've had to do
So you're
two
basically paying for your own school fees right now
at the moment. Yeah.
at the moment. Wow. Wow, amazing. What most people might not know about you that I quickly want to share, and we talked about, I mean, it came from you where you said tutoring is required, is that you started out in a comprehensive school. Your parents didn't really understand the educational system, but they wanted more for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worth noting your parents are highly successful because they run their own businesses. But they wanted more for you. They strive to. They wanted you to do more. Yes, they were ready to give you all that you need. And I remember ringing your dad and saying, the school you're currently in is just not serving its purpose for you because you're so clever and you're extremely bored in the school you're in. Would you say your move from the comprehensive school to the grammar school helped in any way to shape what you're doing at the moment?
Usually, my nan and me always talk about how that was the biggest humbling experience of my life. If the 11 plus whole situation didn't happen, like obviously we have faith and we believe a lot, and if that didn't happen, I don't think I'd have put so much into my education as I do now. Through that, knowing that there are tutors, teachers that will help, knowing that it does get better. If you try harder, you can improve. Like, I think the 11 plus taught me so much, even for my GCSEs, my A levels, my degrees. Whenever it gets hard, I'm like, yeah, but you've done it. It can work. Just try harder. Like, go back, revise, spend more time. I think it sets you up mentally. It helped me mentally to overcome these barriers and prove to myself that if you want it, you can do it.
Mm.
And the networks are there. You just gotta find them.
The network are there, you just gotta find them. Amazing. I'm a big fan of you and I'm constantly rooting for you, looking forward to you completing your dentistry degree because I think you're going to be a fantastic dentist and the world is just not ready for what you have to give. And I just want to use that opportunity to encourage parents who are going to watch this or who are watching this. If you have a child in year 9 or above who don't know what they want to do yet, who are still thinking about it, and you don't know how to help them, Jag is the plug for you. We're going to put his details on there. You can reach out to him. He has a program in place to help out students, kids who want to know how, not just getting into dentistry or medicine, getting into university to do a course of their choice. Now, what advice would you give students who don't have a clue what they want to do now? They're in year 9 or year 10 or even year 11, and they just don't know what they want to do.
I think only ever choose things that you enjoy for now in terms of options. There's always a path for career from these options that schools give you. Whatever combination you choose, there'll be something that links or skills that you picked up or learnt. As long as you enjoy it, because it's a lifetime thing. If you don't enjoy it, you won't be successful in it. Make sure you choose things you enjoy, and then we can find something that works for you.
You said make sure you choose what you enjoy, but would you say choose what you enjoy strategically? I saw a video on Instagram of a young lady who said, you know, she went and studied psychology, but then she found out that the courses that the kind of work that she could choose from, there wasn't much options for her. So when you say follow what you enjoy,
no, it definitely is misleading, because some degrees do lead to dead ends, and it does just make life a bit longer and harder. But when I say that, I mean it's not worth dropping out if you don't have a path. There's always going to be something that can join and link on somewhere, because I know students that have left after A levels or before A levels, whenever you can leave, thinking there's nothing for me, I don't want to do anything, I'll just drop it. I don't think that's appropriate either, because you're still young. First of all, I think when I was 8, you think you know everything. You don't. Parents do recommend the best. Dentistry wasn't, I didn't choose this, it's just something I fell in love with later. My parents have always wanted us to do medicine or dentistry, and it was never forced. It was like, this is cool, and then you go and work experience, you do that, and oh yeah, okay, it is. Because before, you don't know a lot. We're children at the end of the day. We've not seen much of the world, but our parents and stuff have. So be open to opinions. Never feel they're like putting you in a corner. I feel like sometimes that's a narrative that's built up in our own head that we've been forced. Or I think it's a lack of us opening our eyes to the world. We're so limited to whatever we see on a day-to-day basis. I think I was thinking about the other day, from primary school to secondary school. Life is go to school, come home, sleep, eat, go again, and you don't see enough of the world to know what is out there. What can you do? So I think be open to all opinions, routes, but in terms of enjoying it, yeah, it is technical. I'd say be happy, but open to opinions, because sometimes other people do know what's best.
I love that. There's got to be that balance. Definitely, I'm all in, because I'm all in for doing what you really enjoy. I mean, I'm not actually practicing what I did at university, so I'm rooting for kids who go in and do what they enjoy. But at the same time, I think you've nailed it. Be open, do your research. Don't just go on one lane only.
Mm-hmm.
Find out, learn from people who have already been on that route, who can advise and guide you. Basically, look to people who have already done it.
Of course, exactly that.
They can guide you. Any last words before we round up this amazing session, Jack?
That's everything. It's been really good. It's been nice to talk about it with you. Wholesome.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you to all those who are watching or who are going to watch later on. Jag, keep going. We're rooting for you. And we hope to bring you back again very soon.
Yes. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.